What's up, everybody? Keith again, MJKL Speedworks. So, back out here in the garage. Got a rear end to put in. Been putting it off for a couple days. Just got it out actually, so maybe I've been putting it off for one day. Anyway, got my fancy, I don't want to get my hands dirty for the evening gloves. We got a rear end to get together. Let's get it. Alright, so first we will take our pinion that's already got the correct bearing, crush sleeve. As you see here, the crush sleeve is already on there. I'll leave it. The same bearing that was on it when I put it out of the junkyard in the last video. We'll take this, slide it up into the rear end through the pinion hole there. We'll put the nut on and I'll torque it down to the proper spec. So it's actually 16 inch-pounds of torque, which is 1 foot-pound plus 4 inch-pounds. Now, I don't have an inch-pounds torque wrench. Sorry. My torque wrench only goes down to 10 foot-pounds. So, I can either get a wrench later or just send it for the time being. So, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to send it. So, anyway, we'll get the pinion up through real quick and the nut on, and then we'll tighten it a little bit. So, maybe I can record some of this stuff. Maybe I can't. If you can't see it, well, I'm sorry. But if it's not any good, I'll delete it, right? So, whatever. Alright. Take our pinion. Our pinion nut. I'm going to kind of wipe this off a bit. It's all a little dirty from when I was at the junkyard. Let's actually take a second to clean this up a bit here. Nothing too fancy, guys. This is all junkyard stuff. What's the big deal? This has actually got a little piece of metal in the nut there, if you see that. The camera will focus in on it. Kinda, maybe. You can kind of see it hanging off on the edge right there. So I'm going to look at this other pinion that I have. And the one that was originally on there looks a little better. So, they're the same thing. Who cares, right? So, alright. Pinion goes up through the housing. First, we need to put our flange on. I almost forgot. And I actually test fitted this earlier, and it's a really, really tight fit to get on there perfectly. If you see that, it goes on, but it's really, really difficult. So I've actually got a little rubber mallet, I believe. Well, maybe I don't. Might be on my other bag. So I'll just try to be careful. Whatever, right? So I'm telling you guys, it's not an exact science sometimes. It's just, sometimes you just gotta send it. Well, that's got an axle seal on it. Just now noticed that. The axle seal is still on there. And this one already has one. You're supposed to replace these, by the way. Guess who ain't? All right. Let's try it again now. pretty difficult to get on there, guys. Let's see what the major malfunction is. Went together pretty good out here, you know. Well, I got another flange down here. This is what was on the turbo coupe, and it doesn't fit at all. It's not even close. Maybe there's some dirt and stuff in the threads. Maybe that's it. Can't really tell. I don't see any, but possibly. Let me get some brake clean real quick. Nothing like some brake clean. Shoot shit. Well, that instantly knocked all kind of shit off of it. It's already shining more. So, maybe that helped. Clean off these a bit. Oh, I don't see anything. It's pretty damn good to me, y'all. Guess it's just a really, really close fit. Maybe we can give it a couple slaps with a hammer when we get it close. And I'll make it all fit correctly. There we go. Kind of going a little. Not as much as I would like yet, though. So. All right. Pinion nut on. Impact. I got a brand new socket, by the way. This is the only one of the sockets I didn't have. 1 1/16". Focus, you bastard. There we go. 1 1/16". I bought this at AutoZone for like $6. I remember the other one had about 3 threads showing when I took it off at the junkyard. That's what I'm going to try to get it back to. And as you'll see here, there's a lot of slop, and that's on purpose. It's going to have some. That creates the backlash with the gear hitting it on the other side. Getting tighter. And when you get it to the proper torque here, when you turn this, it'll take 16 inch-pounds of pressure to turn this. And I'll tell you right now, it's taking hardly any at all. But that may be right. I just don't have the correct tool to check it with. So, there's still a good bit of slop right there. I'm going to go a little more. I probably went too much because there's hardly any at all now. Maximum recording time reached. What kind of horse shit is that? Anyway. Pretty good there. Alright. Pinion installed. Let's flip it over and make sure everything looks right, and then we can get our shims out and drop the ring gear in. Alright, we flipped the rear end around, as you see here. There's our brand new reinstalled pinion. You see it says 410 on it right there. I didn't show that in the junkyard the other day. By the way, I'll link that video up here from the video of me picking the gear out of the other rear end that it was in the junkyard. Anyway, we'll get our shims out and we'll get those ready to go in, and we'll get ready to put that ring gear in. I'm going to level this rear end up a little bit better because it's a little wobbly right now. These are just plastic sawhorses. This is what I do, guys. It's just regular garage stuff, nothing fancy here. So give me a minute and we'll get it straightened up. Okay, so rear end has been braced properly. Okay, so the camera kept cutting off, sorry. This is the, as I labeled the bag here, it's really difficult to see now because all the grease that was on it, but pretty sure that says passenger side shims. Now another bag here. And it still says it's very difficult to read. But either way, I set these on the correct side when I took the rear end out. That's driver's side, this is passenger side. This is the race that the bearing sits on in the rear end. We're going to put it back in the correct way. This is the shim that goes behind the bearing race. I've already measured these, believe it or not, and they're exactly the same size. So technically, it wouldn't have mattered because these are exactly the same. No matter which side goes where, when they're exactly the same. So, I'm just cleaning them up a little here. You'll see these are beveled. The beveled side goes toward the wheel. That side has an edge to it there. That goes toward the wheel. All right. This other one here. Straight out of the junkyard, y'all. Nothing fancy about it. Filled with grease and dirt. Junkyard crud, mosquito droppings. That shim's cleaned up some. We'll just get the dirt out of these races. We want them clean because, well, hell, the bearing sits in it. Why would you want to put dirt in the bearing? You wouldn't. That looks really good. All right. Okay, so now we'll get all of it organized here. I'll pick it up just so. And to drop it all in one go. Keep your finger in there. Start with the big side first. A lot of times you can't fit the shims in with it, so you got to put them in second. It's happened to me before. Open it up a bit and drop your shim in. One side. Second side is always a little trickier. You may have to tap it in. They actually make a special tool to put this in with, but guess what I don't have? A special tool to do it with. Almost. I'll hammer it. Almost in there, huh? Couple more taps. All right. Looks like it's in there to me, y'all. I'm going to tell you what, guys. That feels just about the same backlash that I had in the junkyard. Backlash meaning the amount of movement I have when I move the gear, or I hold the gear still and I move the pinion on the bottom. The backlash is the reading that you get when it doesn't move. All right, suggested is like 13 to 26 or some shit like that, or maybe it's less than that. Maybe it's like 8 to 13 or whatever, backlash. Thousandths that you want it to move, or it's acceptable for it to move. This one feels pretty tight, but that's the way it was in the junkyard. So, I'm pretty pleased with that. If y'all are pleased with it, I'm pleased with it. Just want to check and make sure nothing binds. And it doesn't here. It all moves really smoothly. No side-to-side movement at all, which is good. Now I took my caps out that are sitting on the floor here, and I set them down exactly as I picked them up, just like so. Caps go on. These are 19 millimeter, just like in the junkyard. This isn't the final assembly for everybody's knowledge, by the way. This is getting it put together so I can make this thing a roller. I need to get it rolling so that I can get it outside and clean it, which is the goal soon here. Let me grab a... Camera's going to shake as I get a socket out. So sorry. It's going to be a 19. Oh look, my 19's all covered in axle grease. Who did that shit? It wasn't me. All right. Very nice. That socket got used exactly one time. Now, as you see, starting to get a little bit of a bind on it there. So that's too tight. It's like 45 foot-pounds or something for those. Now, as I've moved it around a little bit, I got all the bearings good and lined up there. Got some good grease in them and whatnot. Don't want anything bound up. Okay. Well, I'm pretty satisfied that's going to work for the time being, y'all. Alright, now let me get my C-clips out. And we will put the axles together. Alright, let's see if I can do this while holding the phone. Sorry, camera issue. Alright, our axle is already in, but we're going to slide it on through here. As we come through, you'll see it pop out right there. Alright, and here's our C-clip that's going to fit on the recess in the axle right there. I just noticed there's like an O-ring or something on there. I'll have to take that off first. So I don't think it's going to work with that O-ring on it. Oh yeah, it's fine. That O-ring's on there for purpose. Alright. Our C-clip down. I tell you what, it's not super excited about going on there. Get a screwdriver here, maybe I can kind of manipulate that O-ring a little bit. Kind of see what I'm talking about down there with that O-ring. Gotta kind of move it back as far as I can get it, you know. There we go, it's a little better. Now maybe I got room for the C-clip on there now. Alright, I got it on there, but didn't really go down as far as I wanted it to. And I'm not sure that's going to work with that O-ring, so let me pull that out and look real quick. Alright, so that was perfectly fine the way it worked. It was on there, I just didn't push down hard enough. So you push that C-clip down on there, and once you get it on, take a screwdriver and just gently pry these axles out, and they will slide out into the to the spring there. So now that I've got that in, we'll give this thing a spin here. It's getting difficult to spin with all this stuff on it. We can get to our cross pin and our cross pin bolt. Same ones that we took out in the junkyard, which we have down here. Here's our cross pin and our cross pin bolt. You'll see that there are no threads in there. It's just a hole. So, it doesn't matter which way you put this in, it's the same on both sides. But, into the spring. That ready to go. Give this a little tap with a ball peen hammer. Not too much. There you go. This is an 8mm. So give me a second and I'll run that bolt in and she'll be buttoned up. Alright y'all, as always, you can do this stuff yourself. Is it perfect? Probably not. I'm pretty happy with it though. So I'll get something to check all these tolerances again later. We'll go and make sure all these bearings are greased properly before we put them on and all that good nonsense. This is just to get under the car and make it roll. I'll probably take it all apart again, just like I'm going to take this engine and stuff out again. But I needed to have it in there for mock-up. So anyway, as always, if you guys will like, comment, subscribe, share. Don't just watch. Don't just click through. Watch this stuff and share it. Maybe you're not going to build something, but maybe someone you know is. So it'd be awesome if they had the ability to learn how to do what we're doing. So anyway, I'm going to link up the video like I linked earlier from the junkyard. We'll link another junkyard video over here. And maybe some other video over here from the previous parts of the series. Anyway, thanks again all your subscribers. I appreciate it. Thanks again to everyone who watches. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.